Hello everyone, and welcome back to my Senate election prediction videos, where I take a look at the Senate races going on across America in 2024 and give my thoughts, analysis, and predictions on the race. And today we are looking at Florida, the Sunshine State, and a seat currently held by the Republican Party. The current incumbent senator is first-term Republican Senator Rick Scott. Senator Scott, as I said, is in his first term. Senator Scott's margin of victory in 2018 was just under 1/10 of a percentage point. One of the closest Senate races in the country, and it took several days to determine a winner. But in that election, he unseated the incumbent Senator Bill Nelson. In 2020, Donald Trump's margin of victory in the Sunshine State was 3%. In 2024, there is no doubt how Florida will cast its electoral votes. Donald Trump will win the state of Florida by a comfortable margin. While the percentage may be low, Trump will easily win Florida. Florida has increasingly shifted rightward in the past 8 years and has solidified itself as a solid Republican state in that time. The pandemic and the Trump years saw a large number of retirees and Republican-leaning voters from blue states move their residency to Florida to more align with their political beliefs. And the Republican Party of Florida has benefited from that shift. So Florida has sort of become a conservative Zion as of late. So there's no doubt how Florida will cast its votes in the presidential election. Let's take a look at the two nominees. The Democratic nominee is Debbie Marcus Powell. Ms. Powell previously served in the United States House of Representatives for one term. She was defeated for her re-election in 2020, as were many first-term Democrats in the state who ran for re-election after winning their seats in the 2018 midterm. Ms. Powell is an immigrant from Ecuador. She immigrated to the United States at the age of 14 and earned an advanced degree and served as a college administrator for most of her career. She ran for the United States House of Representatives in 2018 after her congressman voted to basically gut the Affordable Care Act that inspired her to run, and she defeated him in a election that favored Democrats across the nation. Ms. Powell, as I said, served one term in the House and was defeated for re-election in 2020. The Republican nominee is the current incumbent senator, Senator Rick Scott. Prior to becoming the senator, Senator Scott served 2 terms as Florida's governor. Both of Scott's wins as governor were very close elections, and he spent a considerable amount of his own fortune not only to win his current position as United States Senator, but both of those elections as governor. Senator Scott was a healthcare executive involved in a very large fraud case involving a healthcare company. Senator Scott, since becoming the senator from Florida, has become an outspoken advocate for former President Donald Trump, who lives in the state of Florida. He is a constituent of Senator Scott, as has the other senior senator from Florida, Senator Rubio. Scott was noted during his term as governor for his response to natural disasters. He has also been an opponent of the popular Republican governor of the state, Mr. DeSantis. They are not very cordial towards each other. Scott led the Republican Party's campaign's efforts in the 2022 elections to retake the Senate, and many blame him for the poor performance of the Republican Party in that election, including releasing a position pamphlet that had a lot of right-wing positions that are popular with donors and the base of the party, but are not popular with anyone else. It even included like a term limit for government employees and sunsetting certain popular programs like Medicare, Social Security, things of that nature every 5 years. He also faced considerable criticism from Democrats and progressives and independents for just a few weeks after Donald Trump's acquittal in the Senate trial, presenting Trump with a made-up award from the National Republican Senatorial Campaign Committee, which he led at that time, as a way to avoid Trump possibly seeking retribution against Republicans he believed had not been adequately loyal to him in Trump's impeachment trial. How do I think this race is going to play out? As I said, Florida has become a Republican Zion. And even though Senator Scott had one of the closest Senate elections in 2018, he had very close elections for governor. Both of his terms as governor were very close elections. Florida has shifted considerably to the right since 2018. It is becoming increasingly one of the most Republican states in the nation. Governor DeSantis won re-election by nearly 20%. Senator Rubio won his re-election in 2022 as well by a comfortable margin. Florida is becoming a solid Republican state, and I have no doubt that Senator Scott will be elected to a second term in the Senate. So that will be a hold for the Republican Party.